Michael from Fraud Monitor here. Let's get into this week's scams. Well, it's holiday season again, and the criminals are out there trying to steal your money and steal your identity. Travel scams are prevalent this time of year. There have been a lot of scams targeting booking.com. Maybe you saw a link on Google or some other website that entices you to call a travel booking desk. But what you're doing is actually calling a fake help center staffed by people pretending to be booking.com and other travel websites. Now, with this scam, when you talk to the fake travel agent, they'll go to a real booking website and try to look up your travel arrangements based on what you tell them. They'll look for flights, hotels, all that kind of stuff. And they'll get to the point where you want to book your travel and they'll ask for your cell phone number. They'll send you a customized link, like you can see here. And this website's called the hotelvalidate.com. There's another example that says checkin-arrivals.com. These are completely fake. And they'll send you this unique code, which will reference the actual hotel that you're talking about with the criminal, right? And so when you go to this URL, things look pretty legitimate. You might think you're on booking.com, which you aren't. You're going to start entering your first name and last name, which I'll do right now. That's not my name, by the way. This is my great-grandfather. And now at this point, you're presented with a couple of things. A fake support chatbot to make it look official. Let's get rid of that one. But here is where you enter your credit card. And if you do that, and they'll probably charge you an amount that they'll tell you over the phone. But look at this. Important. If you do not remember the price of your booking, please enter the minimum amount, which is 300 euro. What travel website ever does that? There's so many clues here to help you understand that you're not on the right site, you're not talking to the right people, and you're very close to giving up all your information and losing money. Now, what's also interesting is that they actually have a pretty good application user experience. They'll check to see if you're entering a legitimate credit card number. And then you can use the test Visa number, which is 4111 and you'll see it pass that check. It'll make sure you're using a valid expiration date, and then you can put anything you want in here to pass this check. It's going to tell you that your card's not supported here because what they're probably doing is linking this form to a legitimate payment processing API, right? Which will try to capture those funds immediately from your card. And once those funds are captured, they'll go to a merchant account, which then makes its way back to the criminal's account. Well, they'll probably offload it through some, third-party, low KYC bank transfer. In my honeypots, I'm seeing a ton of reported URLs, which leads me to believe that they're having some success on getting people to call them and getting people to go to these forums and fill out this information. And also, there are so many clues that you can pick up when you're on this website. First of all, look at the domain name. The Hotel Validate is not booking.com. When it asks you to put a minimum amount that has no relationship to what you're trying to purchase, these are just things that you want to include in your due diligence when you're booking travel or buying anything online. Next up, I've seen Suncoast Credit Union come up once or twice. This is just a really poor example of a scammer's attempt to create a landing page where they're trying to get you to install an app. Now, this app is an APK, which is targeted for Android users. If you try to install us, it'll install a fake Suncoast Credit Union application, which is where they'll try to get you to enter your bank account details, all their information, basically know everything about you to take over your actual credit union account. And this is not just for Suncoast. This happens all the time. All the banks are being spoofed. It's a great way that the criminals have found to gain trust and confidence in that what you're downloading is a legitimate application. So again, be very cautious about the websites you're going to. Look at the URL sun-kaust.click. That's not official. You have to know that this is definitely not correct. And you want to go to the official Suncoast Credit Union website or the official site for the bank that you're using. Next up is this Airbnb. Lots of fake travel scams are popping up. Airbnb is no stranger to these types of scams. If you engage this website, they'll trick you into booking a stay here, but all they're really trying to do is steal your information. Here's Wells Fargo spoofed once again. They're trying to get you to enter your username and password again to try to take over your account. And last but not least, Fidelity has been targeted pretty heavily this month. Fidelity does a really good job on providing tools for things like two-factor authentication and allowing you to control or lock your transfer outs. Recently, I was targeted in a Fidelity scam. Fidelity locked down my account. I was able to engage with their security and anti-fraud unit. Extremely professional. Nothing on my account was touched. And with two-factor authentication enabled, it's a really great way to safeguard your account to make sure no one can access it but yourself. So, like the other examples here, the website looks like Fidelity Net Benefits. It has the same color scheme. But if you look at the URL, it says fidelity-security-alert.top. Again, a really obvious tell here is that you're not on the Fidelity website. And if you're on a mobile browser, it is a little bit harder to see what domain you're on. So let's shrink this up a little bit. You only see a portion of the URL here if you're on your Chrome browser on your mobile device. But you definitely want to take extra care and look at the entire URL and make sure you're on the right place. Or just close the page, right? And go directly to fidelity.com. So if we trigger this phishing attempt and enable 2FA now, again, all they're trying to do is capture every bit of your information so they can take over your account. These are the core bits of information required to get your Fidelity username and be able to change the password so you're locked out and the criminal has full access to your Fidelity account. So like every holiday season, the criminals are out there in droves trying to steal your identity, trying to steal your account information, trying to entice you with fake loans. It's really the worst time of year for victims, as this is where people fall victim the most. If you've been a victim of a scam like this, or if there's a scam that other people should be aware of, please find me on YouTube at Fraud Monitor and let me know so we can cover it for our subscribers. Stay safe out there and know before you click.